Okay, let's see what we got here. There we go. We should be live now. There we go. I think I got it fixed. YouTube user support. That's better. There we go. We got her fixed. Got it fixed. Yay! There we go. It is fixed. It appears that it was an issue on YouTube's end. An issue on YouTuber's end. Do 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 do. There we go. We are live again. Again live. This should work better. Streaming software. Streaming software always works better. Do 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 do. Do do do. There we go. Fix the issue. Made new stream using streaming software. Apparently, YouTube didn't like me showing the crossbow. So they blocked the stream. Didn't lose connection. YouTube just blocked me. They did not like the crossbow and the talking about the pew pews. We said the G word. We said the G word on streaming. Apparently YouTube doesn't like that. So, anyways. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Do-do-do. Hey, Spruce. Yes, no. Apparently YouTube can't close a stream set because we said the G word instead of pew pew. We used the G word instead of pew pew, and they didn't like the crossbow. Me showing the crossbow and all that stuff. So, because up here in Canada, we got to play by different laws and we got to play by different rules. So our social media has different standards. So yeah. So that's what happened there. I don't live in a state. I don't live in a state, Sarush. We don't have states up here. I live in a province, and our social media is not regulated by the province. It's regulated by the federal government. Our social media standards are regulated by the federal government, and because my channel is not registered as a sports channel, a sports and games, a sports channel, I get copy strike for showing certain things and saying certain things. So, yeah, it's stupid, but that's it. The other thing is that because I'm not registered as a sports channel, I've got to be careful with certain things. So I live in British Columbia. I live in beautiful British Columbia, where the forests and mountains go on forever, and there's a waterfall every 4 blocks. You know, our federal government is the one that regulates this stuff. Yeehaw! But I'm back. We're back. We're back in business. I find using the streaming software kind of bypasses all that stuff. I thought I'd just try to use the YouTube streaming. I've never used the YouTube Go Live. I've never used the YouTube Go Live before. It's got bugs and twicks and clicks and that, so I think I'll just stick to the streaming software because the streaming software kind of lets me bypass certain things that doesn't go through the same AI crap. So. Hey Dan, how you doing? What camera are you using? I'm using an Allura Tech 1080. I'm using an Allura Tech 1080. Using the Allura Tech 1080. I picked it up on clearance for I think it was $28. Bought it for $28. Seems to be working pretty good for me. Do. Let's see. Do. Hey. Do. But there. Vancouver's about 4 because I have to take a ferry. It's about 4 hours away. Vancouver's about 4 hours away from me. Ah, yes, the Saer's channel. Because Saer's channel is not just about diesel and mechanics anymore. Saer's channel is about a lot more. Saer's channel is more diverse. So Saer Canadian diesel just didn't fit the channel anymore. So I just changed it to Saer's channel because it's more diversified. And not only that, now that I'm not turning wrenches anymore and I'm doing carpentry again and carpentry and construction, so yeah, it's not far, but it costs $180 for me to get there and back. The ferries aren't free here. The ferry is very friggin' expensive. Even though I think the BC ferry system should be part of the highway system, and we should not pay for it. It should be covered under the federal government's budget and finances. For some reason, it's still privatized. It's stupid. It's stupid. Like you'll go back east. You go all the way back east to Newfoundland and PEI. The ferries are pretty much free. They're like $1 to $5 to use the ferry because they're part of the highway system. Why BC hasn't done that? Because it's all about just robbing us blind, and they keep raising the rates, they keep raising the fees, but it should be part of the highway system. I think the ferry system out here should be part of the BC highway, the federal highway system, and should not be charged for. We should not have to pay to use the ferry. I don't think we should. I think it's just absolute robbery and just stupid. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. BC is so screwed up that way. Like literally, BC is stupid when it comes to stuff like that. That's why I don't go to the mainland very often. I only go to the mainland if I need to. But I very rarely have a reason to go to the mainland, so very rarely have a reason to go to the mainland. Oh, so what else should we talk about? What should our topic be? What can I tell you? What can I share with you? What can I teach you? What can I give you? What do you guys want right now? What do my friends need and want? What all do you guys need and want right now? Is there any tools you want to know about? Sunny and warm. That's what the weather's like right now. See, I'll show you. It is sunny and warm. Beautiful, sunny and warm. Always beautiful out here. Even when it rains, it's beautiful out here. Even when it snows, it's beautiful out here. It's crazy. Jeez, got a huge delay. I forgot to set my latency. I forgot to set my latency. I forgot to set my latency to compensate for lag and delay. Because I'm streaming in 1080 right now. I can't change it now. Damn it. Stream settings. There we go. Let's see if I can change. Nope. Won't let me change my latency. Won't change. I gotta keep remembering that latency. The delay. Only 61. That's okay. I think it's probably about 64 right now here. We had some hot spells where we were hitting the hundreds. We were hitting the hundreds a couple weeks ago. Last month we hit the 100 a couple times. Got really hot. But no, I'm happy where it's at right now. It's probably around 65, 70ish right now. So I really got to fix the latency. You got to keep remembering to do that. Fix the latency so that way there's less delay, less lag. What I hate about streaming in 1080, when you stream in 1080, you get a delay because the YouTube processing sucks. Well, even aside Canada's political flaws, it's still a beautiful place to live, a great place to live. It's a safe place to live. None of that healthcare. You got good healthcare. You got good education. Canada's got a lot going for it. Yes, our politics are kind of messed up right now, but for the most part, it's good. It's really good here. Like it's a little bit more, little more expensive than what we want it to be to live here. It's really expensive to live here. But at the end of the day, I say it's all worth it for what we have and what we get, and just living in this beautiful country, living in this beautiful land. It's worth it. It's worth it. Well, that's because you're a silly person and you live in Texas. You gotta expect those temperatures down there. You're damn close to that equator. That equator gets pretty hot, you know. So I wonder what tactics would think of my old Greenlee. I've had this Greenlee for about 25, 30 years, I think. I've had this thing forever. My old Greenlee electrical tester. And then the DeWalt. I think I've had this thing for maybe 10 years. Old testing tools for AC. That's things. I'm not an electrician. I usually hire electricians to do that stuff. I just need to know what's working and what's not working. That's a total lie. That healthcare is actually really good up here because we use what's called a triage system. Priority health issues. Priority health issues. And we use a triage system, but healthcare is really good up here. That's an absolute lie, and there's just a lot of people that like to complain. Like there's a lot of people that just like to complain about stuff, just like down in the U.S. People complain about stuff, but all in all, our medical system and our healthcare is pretty good. Like some people, they do have to wait for a while for stuff and that because, well, you're getting it for free. You're not paying for it. You're not paying out of pocket. You're not paying for it. So we use the triage system. Nope. If it's something that's a priority, if it's something that's detrimental to your health, Sharush, you don't wait. You get in almost immediately. You get in almost immediately. Like my partner's bypass, my partner's double bypass. He was in that day when my partner had his colon got torn, and he had need to get a colonoscopy bag put in. That was done that day. It was done that very same day. There was no waiting for it. It was done. If it's life-threatening, you go in immediately. If it's not life-threatening, then they use the triage system because life-threatening issues we take care of first. It's just like in the military, the triage system. The more important things we take care of first. So that's an absolute lie, Shrew. That's an absolute lie and a myth. Our healthcare system is actually better than what most people think. Like if you got a sliver in your toe, you're not priority. But you also got to remember, it's free. You're not paying $20,000 to have a kid. You get pregnant, you're gonna get that. Your kid's gonna be delivered for free. If you need a heart transplant, it's free. Like that's the thing. It's free. When stuff is free, you can't expect to have your little boo-boo or your tiny little cut or your sliver fixed first. You can't expect that to be first. And none of that, we also have a doctor shortage. We have a shortage of surgeons and doctors. But for what we have, we're pretty good. Like cancer treatment. You get into cancer treatment almost immediately. It's all about priority. And most of the people that are complaining about, oh, healthcare takes so long, they're the ones that are sitting waiting for something that's not life-threatening. If there's someone that has a life-threatening issue, they have to come first. They'll always come before you. That's just how it is. So, like I said, there are people that like to complain and whine, but if it's life-threatening and it needs to be taken care of immediately, it's always taken care of immediately because we use the triage system. But like I said, it's free. Your healthcare is pretty much free up here. Like you'll never be denied healthcare service, you'll never be denied medical service, but it's all done on triage, and the more important things and the priority things are taken care of first. Yeah. See, even down in Texas where you have to pay for your medical. You still have to wait a couple hours. Like there are some things that aren't priorities, and yeah, you might have to wait a month or two for certain things because, well, surgeons are busy saving lives. If you're not in the immediate danger or immediate threat, that that's the thing. Like, for example, when I had my heart attack, I was in immediately. They had me hooked up to EKG. They had everything. They were monitoring. They had me in a bed. There was no waiting around. The second I walked in the door and they saw that I was in duress, second I was in duress, I didn't even have to stand in line. I didn't have to go to the desk. The nurses came out. They grabbed me immediately. They grabbed me immediately because they knew I was in cardiac stress, and they took me into the back, hooked me up, and after I was stabilized, that's when they came and got my information. So there you go. Like that's the thing. Like, I do think Canada can benefit from a two-tier medical system, but we have to do it in a way so that way the private medical sector doesn't steal all the doctors and surgeons from the private sector. That's why I think that if we do have a private sector health, all surgeons and doctors must work for 10 years in the public sector. They must work in the public sector for 10 years before they can apply for a private sector license. So that way we always have surgeons and doctors in the private in the public section, always there available. And then we can have so the people that can afford to pay for medical and they want to pay for medical, they can do it. I think they should be allowed to do that. I'm totally pro that. But the whole entire thing about just opening up a public sector, the private sector will lose all its doctors and surgeons. So we have to have a system where doctors and surgeons must spend at least 10 years in the public sector, working in public sector health before they can become private sector. So, oh yeah, yeah. No, I had a chemically induced heart attack 3 years ago. I had a chemically induced heart attack. Had some really bad chemicals that I was working with, and my respirator had a crack in it, and some of the chemicals got in through the respirator and put me into cardiac arrest. That's the reason why I stopped YouTube for a little bit. That's why I stopped YouTube for a little bit there, DLC. I'd take some time to get my health back up. I'd had to take some time to recover. So, and that's the thing is triage. We work off a triage system, priority things. If you could die, if you are in immediate danger of death, immediate risk of death, you are taken care of immediately. If you're not immediate death, like risk of death, yeah, some things, some people wait for a long time, but it's something that that's the thing. It will be something that's not life threatening. That's not like I've been living with a double hernia. I've got a double hernia. I've had it for 30 years, but because I can go and get it fixed. Like I can go get it fixed if I want, but that's the thing is I have to go on a waiting list because I'm not in immediate risk of death. And because I've lived with it for like 25 years and it hasn't given me any discomfort, any issue, any problems, I don't I myself I'm just not going to burden our medical system with that. Now if it becomes strangulated and that, then yeah, they'll take me in, they'll do the surgery right now, done deal. They'll take me in, they'll get done that day because I'm not in immediate risk, but I'm not in immediate risk of danger. I'm not in discomfort and I'm not in pain. So it's not a priority. And I'm not pushing it because I'm a logical, rational person, and there are other people that need it more than me. So yeah, our medical system's not perfect. It's not flawless. No medical system is perfect. No medical system is flawless. Unless you're in countries like the Ukraine and stuff like that. You want to see medical service. You want to see like medical service. Friggin' countries like Ukraine and Hungary and Turkey and that their medical system is, holy crap, phenomenal. But they've also had a lot more time and many more years to develop it and build it, and they've also had a lot more foreign investment into building it. That's the thing, is Canada and the US, we don't get foreign investment into our medical system. We don't get a helping hand. We're on our own. Our nations are on our own when it comes to stuff like that, where other countries, they've had financial assistance, they've had intervention from other countries and that. But not of that, their education, you look at their education system, it's cheaper. It's cheaper over there to become a doctor. It's easier to become a doctor. You get the same education, sometimes better education than what you do here. And so they have no shortages of doctors and nurses and stuff like that. But also they live in a world where those are priority things. Those are priority things. None of that, they're doctors and nurses. They get paid well, they get treated well, they get taken care of. Like that's the thing. That's why US is private, because the only way a doctor or a nurse can make money down in the US is to be private. Like that's the thing with Canada up here. We pay them pretty good, but we don't pay them as good as what we should. And if we paid them more, we would have more doctors and surgeons. And if we made a private section health, where after 10 years they can apply for a private section license and regulate their own wage and their own income, then we would have a lot more people wanting to be doctors and surgeons here. So there's a win-win for having a dual level medical system, having a public and a private medical system. But we have to regulate it and we have to be careful. So I would probably have to wait. Well, it would come with how things are going right now. I'd probably have to wait maybe 3 months at worst. 2-3 months at worst, if I decide to go get on the list. Maybe 2-3 months at worst. Could be done within a couple days. Could be done in a couple weeks. It all just comes down to surgical theaters. Do they have a surgical theater open at this time? Can I be at that surgical theater at this time? Like that's the thing, is I've had things where I've had to go get certain things fixed, and they said, well, it could be up to a 2-month wait period, but 3 days later, like, we got a surgical theater right now open. Can you be here? Like, can you be here in 6 hours? Yeah, I can be there in 6 hours. So I went in. Like that's literally how it works. Like, we have an open space. You're on the list. We saw you on the list. We're going to let you know. So sometimes it can take a while, depending on what it is, depending on what the issue is. Like with the stubble hernia, probably, with how our medical system is and how it's going, I'd probably be in there within a week to get it fixed. Like, probably within a week. Yeah, like that. Like, that's the thing. But that's the thing. There's a possibility where they could call me tomorrow and say, hey, on this day we're going to have a window of opportunity. Like 2 days from now, we're gonna have a window of opportunity. Can you be here? Yeah, I can be there. Okay, we'll schedule you in. And the only thing that's going to change is if an emergency happens and they need that surgical theater. But all in all, it's pretty good. Oh, well, you have a good day, Sarush. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being my friend. And I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you on Discord. And hello, Aku. And how is Aku doing today? How is Aku doing today? Thank you for popping in, Aku. I appreciate you coming in, saying hello. I appreciate everyone that comes in and saying hello. So what has Aku been up to? And how have you been doing? How has Aku been doing? Oh, and I got to renew my Scan 2 licenses too. I got to renew my licenses. I'm going to renew my Scan tool licenses here soon. Winter's coming up. In wintertime, I'm going to turn wrenches again. I think my game plan is spring and summer and fall. I'm going to do carpentry, woodworking. In winter, I'm just going to hang out in the shop and turn wrenches. So I got to get my Scan tool licenses and my software licenses caught up. I don't think I'm going to renew my programming licenses. I think I'm just going to, with my Ford GM and all that stuff, I think I'm just going to use per use. I'm not going to go for the full license anymore. It's just not worth it. Too expensive. Can't recoup the money. Just can't recoup the money. So I think I'm getting my programming licenses. I'm just going to do. I'm just going to do it. So, so. I think all my OEM programming licenses, I'm just going to do per use and bill it to the customer. Bill it to the customer. Save some of the financial burden off of me and make it a bit more affordable to do the job. Yeah, I got to get those licenses renewed soon. Well, thank you, DLC, for popping in. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being my friend. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for coming and chilling with us, Sarush and everyone else. Yeah, it's kind of an off time to do a stream, but like I said, I had nothing else to do, and I was bored, so I thought I'd come on, do a stream, hang out, talk with people, and just say hi to everyone. Marauzi, what? I, I don't understand that word. I don't understand that word, Aku. Every brand actually, Akum. Actually, a lot of vehicles, a lot of vehicles I do programming and modular repair on. That's primarily what a lot of people hire me for. I get hired for a lot of the electronical repair and diagnostic, advanced diagnostic, troubleshooting, reprogramming that. Like I'm a part owner of two Midas shops, so I also go down and I take care of all that. So I take care of all that, and I'm actually quite held in quite esteem and regard when it comes to programming and diagnostic. Mostly within the YouTube community, I get a lot of people that contact me for help with stuff. I get a lot of people calling me and emailing me and stuff like that for help. But I see it on Fords, GMs, Toyotas, Hondas, European vehicles, Volkswagen, Mercedes, like no tomorrow. Like friggin' so many issues with the European stuff. Lots of issues with European vehicles. So, but that's the thing is OEM subscriptions and OEM license are expensive. Like Ford has gone up to $1,600. Dodge is $2,300. GM is up to $4,500 now. So it's just not worth it. Like at the end of the day, like I used to spend almost $70,000 on OEM subscription licenses per year and my diagnostic licenses, and I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to do per use subscription, bill it to the customer, and the customer can pay for it. It's just going to be easier. Saves me money, saves me headache, saves me grief because I'm 61 years old. I'm semi-retired. I should be fully retired, but no, I can be using that money for other things, more fun things. So, dookadoo, dookadoo, dookadoo. But anyways, I think I'm gonna have lunch. Gonna have lunch and maybe a nap. I'm thinking lunch and a nap. Well, that's the thing. I work on everything, but I see more electronic and computer issues. The majority of stuff that I see issues on are Mercedes and BMW and Ford. Those are the top three that I see a lot of issues. Um, I I see a lot of security modules on Dodge and Chrysler, but they're the same as Mercedes, BMW, and Mercedes. Like, but yeah, the majority of the issues that I see nowadays are on Fords and BMWs and Mercedes, and some of the Daimler products, like a lot of Daimler products. Those are the top three that I see it on most. For the most part, Hondas and Toyotas are pretty reliable, pretty stable. GM's pretty reliable and stable. Ford, they've got some issues, mostly on their diesels. I see a lot of issues with the diesels, with the diesel engines, with Ford. So yeah, the majority of the ECU and PCM issues I see are on those three. Oh, someone sending me a message. Who's messaging me? But yeah, that's the majority of the issues that I see on those makes. Oh, boom, boom, boom. But anyways, I think I'm gonna make some lunch, have something to eat, and have a nap. So thank you, Akum, for being here. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me for the short little time that we had. And I hope to catch you on my next stream, which will be on Saturday. Saturday I'll be streaming. And once again, thank you to everyone else for just being here. And you guys all have an awesome, awesome day. And you have an awesome day too, Akum. Aku, you just have an awesome day. But I'm going to go make some lunch and have a nap. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side.